Good morning, everyone. It is Thursday. Happy Thursday. My name is Allison Turner. I am the founder of Batcat Media Group, which is home to Dream Plan Start Grow, my business coaching and podcasting podcast program. I want to talk briefly today about the balance of health and business. So this could be a balance of health and you fill in the blank. So if you're a business owner, I'm really talking to you, and because I'm going to talk a little bit about some of my examples of balancing health and business. But if you're not a business owner, it's balancing health, could be balancing health and family. It could be balancing health and your job of working for somebody else, or maybe you're the CEO of a big corporation. So it could be balancing, you name what it is, but I'm just going to be giving examples of the business side. So this morning I had a appointment with my dermatologist. It was a 3-month follow-up. Last time I was there to do kind of a body check, to check everything out. And I hadn't been there for probably 4 years prior. They found something that they took off, and it turned out to be I think basal cell carcinoma, which isn't as bad as melanoma, but obviously now they're just doing these 3-month rechecks. So I briefly thought earlier this week, because I was like, oh, I have a really busy week. I really want to just reschedule the appointment. But I was like, I probably shouldn't do that. So I made the time. I had the appointment because I'd scheduled it before. So, and I know myself. So if I don't schedule it when I walk out that door from the doctors, then I'll get to that 3-month mark, and then I'll be like, oh, I could just wait another week. And then a week turns into 2 weeks or 3 weeks down the road. So I went to the appointment. Everything was good. Still have to come back in 3 months. But what I'm trying to tell you is prioritize your health. So whatever you're doing, as I said, if you're in business for yourself, or a lot of times we can forget our health. I mean, we are our own worst enemies so much of the time. And what I mean by that is I always hear people like, oh, I don't have time to go exercise, or I don't have time to, go to the doctor's office. I got to get this project done. I got to get this done. I have to go speak somewhere. So all those are priorities, but your health isn't a priority. So what happens if something, and I don't want to put anything out there, but something not so good happens? Say you get some kind of diagnosis, or you slip and break your ankle, or whatever it is, say something else happens, then it becomes a priority. And now you're kind of reacting to the situation instead of being proactive about your health to begin with. So a lot of my message this morning is really, how do you put your health front? Because if we don't have our health, we really don't have anything. I know so many people, they get some, out of the blue diagnosis, and boom, their life has changed, and not changed for the better, because now they're dealing with whatever that is, and then trying to balance their business and things. Whereas if they'd been a little bit more proactive on their health to begin with, then maybe they would have caught whatever that was earlier. Maybe that, things would have been a little bit different. And that's really what I want to share with you is, even if you take 10 minutes to go walk in the middle of the day, even if you take, some exercise is better than no exercise. So I'm going to flip over to the exercise side, because I hear that a lot of I just don't have time, or I don't like to do exercise, or I don't like to go to the gym. Find what works for you. I try and do a mix of the gym, because I'm a believer of, we need that muscle tone, especially as you get older, you lose muscle mass, and that's not a good thing. So I'm a believer of going to the gym, and my goal is to get there 3 days a week, maybe 4. I think last week I only made it 2, but I walked instead. And then, if you like to walk, if you like to swim, there's so many different ways you can get exercise. There's Tai Chi, there's, martial arts, think outside the box. There's bands you can do in your house if you want to do that. There's so many ways to get exercise. So when people give me that excuse of I don't want to go to the gym, don't go to the gym, find another way. People there's videos out online on YouTube that you can do, body weight exercises, where you're using your own body to be the quote unquote weight. And that's fine too. Just do something. And, because the biggest thing is when you get in business for yourself, especially when you're a startup company, and I'm really, when you're a startup company, I mean, it's so often overwhelmed. I mean, hell, I was overwhelmed when I was a startup company. Some days I'm still overwhelmed because there's always new challenges. But if you're a startup company or you're thinking about going into business for yourself, make sure you have that routine. That doesn't mean you can't adjust your routine, and that's okay. If like, oh, this week's going to be really busy, and you look at the week and you realize that, you normally exercise on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but maybe that's not going to work this week. And so maybe you want to go back and exercise Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, because Friday you're flying out in the morning to like a conference. That's okay too, but adjust. Doesn't mean you don't exercise at all, just adjust your schedule. Again, your health has to be a priority. And that really goes back to some of my earlier videos and articles that talk about, how do we prioritize? And I talked about it more on the business side, but you have to prioritize your personal side too. You can't just be all work, work, work. Even if you love what you do, which hopefully you do, you can't just be doing that. You have to prioritize your health as well. And if you don't have your health, you really don't have anything. And, and as you get older, you may be in your 30s now, but as you get older, things just pop out of nowhere. And that's really what you don't want to deal with. So, think about how you prioritize your health. How do you work that into your schedule? Put it in your schedule, block time for it. And that's really the best suggestion I can make. Block time for it. Know when you're going to do it. But if you have any questions, I really am passionate about working with startups and new businesses and businesses that are having that challenge of going to the next level. And, if you have any questions on, that, I don't even call it a balance, because I don't really believe there is balance, because sometimes we work a little bit more, sometimes we have life a little more, and good luck having the balance thing. But, if you have any questions about, how do I prioritize things in my life? How do I set that up for, what that looks like for you? Give me a shout out. Go to dreamplanstartgrow.com. I do offer like a 30-minute complimentary consultation. I'm happy to jump on a phone call with you or a Zoom call and brainstorm a little bit and see what I can do to help. I hope you have a great rest of your Thursday, and I will see you again tomorrow.